Welcome to Aragonese, welcome to Aragón, welcome back to the Prototype Winter Series.
Yeah, feeling good. I always love driving at night, so I'm looking forward to it. We have a pretty solid car, so, just keep our nose clean and get to the mandatory stop, hand it over to Glenn, and see where we finish.
Yeah, I hope to get a good result on this, but yeah, I'm getting quite good, so yeah.
You heard from Kevin Rabin there. He's on the outside of the front row. Danny Sufi on the inside. Sufi should lead it into the first corner then. Running on board with Maxim Dirks there in the Gebhardt Motorsport car. We're racing into the night in this first Prototype Winter Series encounter. These cars make an absolutely fabulous sight at night. I had the pleasure of watching them from trackside in the Friday practice session. Racing into Saturday night now as well. Danny Sufi leading them away then. He will be looking to secure the championship lead in this race. Currently second in the championship, Sandra Holtzum, who isn't present this weekend. So if Sufi can get two good results, that will put him in a very, very strong position to claim the inaugural Prototype Winter Series. There is Sufi. Brake discs are glowing as they go into turn number 1, or turn number 16, I should say. It is the number 1 turn in terms of struggle getting the car stopped after that kilometre-long back straight that is the hallmark of Motorland Aragón. Sufi, of course, with Glenn Van Berlo as a teammate this weekend, and unfortunately the number 6 car is stopped. That's Eco Segre in the Ligier JSP4. Great to see a P4 class car with us for the first time, but unfortunately Eco going no further in the A&S Motorsport entry. 3 minutes away from the pit window opening then, as we approach 30 to go. And Sufi, you see there running with the visor up as well. He must have a tinted visor on that helmet, which means he couldn't see through it without the visor up. Sufi will hand over to the talented and very experienced Glenn Van Berlo, who's raced a P3 car here at Aragón before. Sufi continues on his way. Meanwhile, Steve Parrow in the pit lane. He will hand over, of course, to the extremely rapid Daniel Kalvitz. Glenn Van Berlo is now in the Conrad car as well. Now, he'll have to do some work because, of course, there's a pit stop handicap system at play in this series. You see there, Kalvitz having to work because of that as well. He's trying to get himself past Valentin Catalano. Catalano trying to defend up against Kalvitz, but Kalvitz has done it all before. And also going through there is Glenn Van Berlo. So Glenn Van Berlo gets past Clement Moreno. We were watching the gap shrink down, but we weren't expecting it to happen quite so soon. But sure enough, Glenn Van Berlo is now leading for Conrad after Clement Moreno and Julien Lemoyne's car briefly led. Kalvitz up the inside of Valentino Catalano and does it very nicely there at T16. Still yellow flags down there. Or were down there as well for a while because of Eco Segre. Kevin Rabin fighting off as Glenn Van Berlo takes the checkered flag. That was Rabin trying to fight off Daniel Kalvitz as well. They're side by side for third place. Clement Moreno will take second for A&S Motorsport, and it will be, at the very last gasp, Daniel Kalvitz that rounds out the overall podium. Kalvitz just beats Kevin Rabin at the very last braking zone. Kevin won't be delighted with that, but of course he'll still win in the Nova class where he is uncontested. Van Berlo and Sufi, though, your winners. Danny Sufi assumes the championship lead in the Prototype Winter Series with the victory in the night race here at Motorland Aragón, with a little assist from Van Berlo.
What a way to start the weekend. That was a statement.
Yeah, absolutely. Danny did a really good job in qualifying and took a huge gap in the first stint and then handed it over to me. It's always such a joy to drive around this track in the dark. There are no lights, so it's really enjoyable. Fortunately, France couldn't be here today because of an accident last week. So yeah, speedy recovery from everyone from the team, and yeah, this win today is for him.
We echo that. Get well soon, Franz. We hope to see you in the paddock again soon. For Franz, though, he'll be hoping to see Sufi and Van Berlo on the podium again in the second race. Race 2 begins then, and it is Daniel Calvet on pole position. He'll hand over to Steve Parrow later on. You've got Lawrence Herr there as well at the front. Lawrence Herr around the outside at turn 1. It will be Herr that leads for DKR Engineering. He'll be handing over to John Brownson later on. But for now, it is the DKR Engineering car that leads. The top 2 then, both bronze gold line up, says the spin there is Clement Moreno. Now, was that just a spin or did something else happen? Kevin Rabin lost a couple of spots there as well. We didn't see exactly what caused the moment there for Moreno, but clearly something happened there. It's Herr from Calvet from Van Berlo as Rabin goes bouncing across. In fact, sorry, that's Eco Segre. Just bouncing across there. We've got 2 Nova Protos out there now because of the Ligier's expiration in the night race yesterday. They had a spare Nova and they've sent Eco Segre out in the car. Deep into the corner goes Lawrence Herr, and Daniel Calvet is your new leader. Big tailwinds into turn 16, and they've bitten Lawrence Herr on that occasion. He'll try and fight back now against Calvet as we ride on board with Catalano in 4th place. Absolutely gorgeous sound there from the cockpit of the Duqueine D08. Great to have Gebhardt Motorsport along for the first time, the historic team. Into the pits, though, has gone Kevin Rabin, and I'm understanding that he was indeed involved with Clement Moreno's moment earlier on. You saw there Lawrence Herr trying to dive up the inside of Daniel Calvet. I don't know if he was quite close enough. He was not. So Calvet continues to lead. Pit window is now open at this juncture. We're under 30 minutes to go. So the window's open. Who will be the first to pit in? There is Eco Segre in the other Nova. Could well be on for a class win with Kevin Rabin's issues. A wildly different car from the Ligier JSP4, but he seems to be adapting to it well. Will Stowell handing over to Juan Pablo Vega. And Rabin heading back out onto the circuit. We saw him into the garage for a while. Oh, and Julien Lemoyne on his outlap after taking the car over from Clement Moreno. He's managed to dig himself into the gravel. Oh, a bit of a stall there as well from Sufi, but he gets it running again. Danny Sufi taking over from Glenn Van Berlo. He will now have to try and pursue Steve Parrow and John Brownson to claim the lead. We're under full course yellow conditions, so the field isn't compacted down as the race resumes. Steve Parrow goes past the recovering number 42 car of Lemoyne. This is our race leader at this juncture. Can he do enough to hold off Sufi? Unfortunately, ANS Motorsport's miserable day continues. Seems like Lemoyne and Moreno's car has an issue, but they send it back out there, maybe on a fact-finding mission. And this is for second place. John Brownson there losing out to Danny Sufi. Sufi now has to make up something like 20 seconds over Steve Parrow. In fact, it'll be more like 18 seconds, but nonetheless, with 6 minutes left to go, that is going to be a big task. Oh, but that's going to make it a little bit easier. A mistake there for Steve Parrow. A mistake at the hairpin for Parrow sends him into a spin. Sufi will have seen that in the distance at the other end of the long straight, and that will be all the motivation he needs to go hunting. He's there now on the back of Steve Parrow. Danny Sufi senses an opportunity to make it 2 wins from 2, and it's an opportunity that he has taken. Danny Sufi up to the front there, sideways through turn 13. Sufi, though, will not only claim the championship lead coming out of this weekend, but he's also going to have a big advantage. I think something in the region of 10 or 11 points over the car behind him, actually, if things finish as they are. Parrow and Calvet. Clock has hit 0. Checkered flag awaits. And Danny Sufi claims the win for he and Glenn Van Berlo. It's a perfect weekend for the Conrad Motorsport team. And Danny Sufi sharing a car for the first time this season. He'll want to work with Glenn Van Berlo again, I'm sure. What a weekend for the pair of them. John Brownson has crossed the line third. Maxime Dirix takes fourth place, and Nico Segre will finish fifth and first of the Novas in his surprise debut in the cockpit of that Ford V8 powered car. Delight, though, for Danny Soufi, your championship leader going into Barcelona.
It's been a good weekend for you guys. Spoke to you before the race and you said it was possible, but that was mighty impressive. You must be really happy with that.
No, thank you very much. Yeah, it was a fun race. Glenn absolutely killed it in the first stint. It was a bit tricky with the wind, but he was still rapid. Handed the car over to me, and the goal was keep pushing, but no mistakes. So yeah, clean racing and try and chase down the front two, and we managed to do it.
They definitely did manage to do it. Soufi goes into the season decider then with a big advantage over Parot and Calvet in the championship. Will it be Conrad Motorsport's signature black and green on the top step of the title? Great result for Nico Segre as well on his surprise run in the Nova Proto. Wonderful to see these cars race into the night. We'll now see them race at a Grand Prix circuit for the finale at Barcelona.